Hey now, everybody, this is DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest in the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online, the tabletop, and beyond. I'm your host this evening, Drac, and joining me is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Evil Beeker.
The legend, really? Okay.
The legend.
I'll maybe a little.
Come on. We have talked about this before. Give yourself more credit, man.
Hey, everybody! If I was a legend, I'd be making millions.
Well,
but
true.
it is a pleasure to be here. So thank you.
Well, thank you for joining me. Yeah, this was kind of an impromptu recording. Just my schedule again. More on that later. But just stuff happened, and I wanted to get this episode out. So I asked Beeker. I said, "Hey, you want to talk about the year in review? Because that's mainly what we're going to be talking about today, because it's that time. It's the end of the year, which I can't believe we're out at the end of the year. We do have a little bit of game news, though. A couple updates. Update 71 released on December the 11th, so not too long ago. That brought us the brand new quest pack, The Fall of the Night Brigade. You're helping a group of were-rats bring down the Night Brigade, who is a ruthless gang that's killed and pillaged its way into power. Transform into a rat to explore hidden nooks and crannies and bring the leaders of the Night Brigade to justice in 4 handcrafted quests set inside Wayloon Prison. It's kind of interesting that they're taking you to Wayloon.
Yeah, I was gonna. You know what? I meant to ask you about that, because do you have to have the Forgotten Realms pack to play this?
I wouldn't. Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. See, I know you literally just think of that now.
I know you got to be VIP to actually do this. This is not a free quest pack. You have to either buy it or be VIP, so I'm not sure. That is a good question. I will double check on that.
Yeah, we need to check that, because, I mean, maybe you can go to Forgotten Realms, but you can't do any quest unless you have the pack.
That might be. The weirdest thing about this quest pack, besides it's taking place in Wayloon, it's CR4 on Heroic and 35 in Legendary. Yeah,
we talked about that, because it's weird, because I mean, I said when we were playing on Cruising with Drac, I said, God, it's really hard for me to give up my Coin Lord favor, which is usually levels 2 through 5 or 6.
Right.
You know, so
I do like that they're giving you some options at level 4, but it's just kind of weird to do that. So
I think it'll get run more on Legendary.
Oh, I'm sure it will. And it is. The 4 quests are Rats in a Cage, The Wizard's Labyrinth, The Knife's Edge, and The Darkness and the Light. I have not ran this yet. I'm kind of looking forward to running this. I guess I'm going to have to do it on just like a level 4 or 7 character or something, because if it's 4, you run it at Elite, it'd be 7, right? 8, 7? Something like that. So
yeah, something.
Yeah. So, okay. I'll check it out, I suppose, because we don't have anybody 35 Legendary yet. But, yeah.
We could definitely just whip up a couple of level 4 guys and run through it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So there you go. New quest pack. Once again, Fall of the Night Brigade. Also in the update, the Jester of the Festival has arrived. The Jester is available. He's going to trade all those Festival copper, silver, and gold coins for your cookies. And some of the cookies have been adjusted this year. They've also fixed a bug with last year's Abishai cookies, so you can once again eat them all in a row for that buff. I'm not sure if I'd want to eat an Abishai cookie, but sure, okay. Festival coins are going to continue to appear through January 7th, and the Jester will remain in game throughout Eberron through January 14th. So check that out. And those updates to the cookies, if you would like to know, the blue Abishai cookie is now a resist electricity buff. The green Abishai cookie, neutralize poison. The Abishai destroyer buff, that's if you eat all of the Abishai cookies. Once again, it is now working. The beholder cookie is true seeing. Cupcake is a lesser restoration. The Divani jelly cake is Order's Wrath. And returning in 2023, there is a chance to receive a stack of small cards from the deck of many curses when you turn in a gold festival coin. So yeah, that's kind of cool that they're giving you another way to get those cards if you're into that whole mechanic. That's endgame, basically. Also in the patch, Lanterns in the Mist rewards earned on Cormier are now available to claim on other game worlds. You can look for that NPC in the Hall of Heroes. So what that means is if you got any of the rewards on Cormier, you can get them on all the other worlds too. And if you have got rewards, good on you. You apparently have more time to play than I do.
Yes, we are only 1/4 of the way through to get the kitty cat.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we're gonna have to start playing more of some because we're never gonna get this cat.
I hope that they run this for a couple of years.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Lantern of the Seeker is now properly giving you copies of the reward mount or creature companion, and a text error in the dialogue has been corrected. Some typos have been fixed. Of course, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but the Memoirs of an Illusionary Larcener quest now permanently retired from the game, so it is gone. That is due some game performance issues they could not fix. Any unique treasure that was in that quest can now be found in the Mask of Deception, which is located in Evening Star, which I have not ran that Mask of Deception quest in forever.
I'm trying to remember which one that is.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't even remember what level it is. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Homework.
Anyway, exactly. There you go. Something else for us to do. We actually should go to Evening Star because that's something I don't run a lot. Any of those Evening Star quests,
Yeah.
or Wayland quest, or any of those. I really don't do those a lot.
Well, with Cormier, we kind of put our other guys on the side for a
Right.
bit while we did the Lantern. So we'll probably end up in Evening Star eventually.
I would hope so. I would assume so. Also, elsewhere, the Myth D saga now has a chance to grant one of the 9 rare Sun Moon augments from the expansion as an option in its reward list. 10% chance on normal, 16 on hard, 25 on elite, and 34 on true elite. The heroic saga drops heroic augments, and the legendary saga drops legendary augments. So for those that are struggling to get those Sun and Moon augments, which I guess are crazy, almost impossible to get, there you go. Let's see, drop rate of named items from the Purple Name Landscape bosses, also in the Myth expansion, has been raised. So yay for that. Seeing if there's anything else in here. There's a lot of stuff in here. If you want to read the full patch notes, you can go over to DDO Players, and I got it linked. There's a spot in Legendary Chronoscope that was a stuck spot. It's now fixed. Many fear effects are now properly blocking Rune Arm use. There was also a hole in the staircase in Army of the Endless Night quest. That's fixed. And a couple other typos and various things. That was basically the big thing with this patch was the Fall of the Night Brigade quest, and the Jester coming was the big thing. And then, as normally happens, we got an update. We got a 0.1 update to fix some uh-ohs. Update 71.1 was released just last Wednesday, December 18th. This one, just as I said, they fixed a few things. Fall of the Night Brigade Adventure Pack now has guest passes available. There are some game performance issues with hirelings and animal companions that have been addressed. They are hopeful that this fix will address some of the worst lag spikes that have been happening in the game. If you see any exceedingly strange hireling behavior that is out of the normal range of hireling behavior, please let them know. I mean,
we've had a couple. I mean, we had that death house where the hirelings were just nothing. I mean, they were just standing around doing nothing. And then you had the one the other day where the cleric was trying to disarm the shrine.
Yeah, And I'm trying to think, was that before or after this patch? I can't remember. I think it was before.
I think it was
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the weirdest thing. I have never seen that ever in my life. But yeah. So there you go. Also, there is a known issue that animal companions that automatically break breakables will no longer do that. I assume they will fix that because I know some people really like that. I mean,
Yeah, that's a bad dog.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's broken right now. I'm assuming
Aw.
that will get fixed. It must have been kind of like a halo effect of whatever they did to fix these
Sure.
issues must have affected that. But there you go. Also, an issue with quest objectives in the Mist of Ravenloft quest and Invitation to Dinner has now been corrected. Which we just ran that like before this patch, and I don't remember us having any problems in that
Yeah.
quest.
I ran it a couple of times. I think it must be something that we didn't bump into.
Yeah, it must have been a weird thing. But anyway, that is now fixed. There's an NPC in the quest, the Wizard's Labyrinth, which is one of the new requests for the new pack, can no longer spawn as a Reaper. That is preventing an issue where a Reaper can spawn while players are in rat form.
Oops.
Okay. Fixed teleportation bugs also in the Wizard's Labyrinth. Some typos have been corrected in various places. And that's really about it. Several rest and resurrection shrines in the game that visually look transparent are now also ethereal and should no longer trap people inside of them when they appear in the dungeon.
Cool.
Well, that's handy. So there you go. So that
sorry.
Yeah,
I really like
good.
it. I really like it that they're fixing a lot of these little bugs.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff that isn't directly related, but maybe that it's like, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going to fix this type of thing. I like that.
Yeah, and the big thing I know, Cordovan talked about it on his last Fridays at 4 show, but the big thing in this one was that hireling and animal companion, they, I guess, found something thanks to the 64-bit server, the way it logs stuff, they can see other stuff, and they saw like some of the major lag was happening because of some issue with that, and that's what they fixed. And of course that affects the 32-bit worlds as well, so it's not just Cormyr that it fixes. So they're really looking at that, and knock on wood, Cormyr seems to be a lot better. Like last night, I had one little small, but it was like barely noticeable. I didn't even say anything because it was like I thought, oh no, here it cut. No, oh, never mind. It was like maybe a second, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's definitely been better.
It's much better.
I mean, folks, you got to be patient. I mean, checking these things down sometimes takes time.
Exactly.
It's a pain. It's just part of the game. I mean, even other MMOs and online games have the same problem.
Right.
It isn't. Yeah. So, it's a pain, but it does happen.
And they're aware of it. They want it fixed as badly as you do. They're working on it. So, but like I said, so far, Cormyr has been good. I don't know about other servers because I'll be honest, I haven't really. I mean, I log in to do like gold rolls, and that's really about it. I haven't really played because we've been focusing on the lanterns, but so yeah. And then they did announce due to the upcoming holidays, they're going to do a little switcheroony on the maintenance that they're going to do. They're still going to have their weekly downtimes, but they're going to be on different days over the next 2 weeks. So on Tuesday, December the 24th, which would be Christmas Eve, and then Thursday, January 2nd. So instead of the normal Wednesday, it's going to be on Tuesday the 24th and January the 2nd. They'll all have the regular messaging prior to all the downtimes. And once again, this is just for the next 2 weeks, just due to the upcoming holidays. And then we've got sales. These are going to last until the 26th of December. So you've got a little bit of time to jump in on these. The McRib of DDO, it's back again.
McRib.
Yes, everybody laughs that I call that the McRib because, it's like everybody like wants it, but nobody really likes them. But It always comes back. Anyway, yes, the McRib DDO, also known as the Auto Boxes, they're back. Heroic, epic, and improved in the store through January the 2nd. The mechanicized, I guess how you say that, Patron's Copper is now back. That is through January 2nd as well. January 2nd also, you can get double points in the store. Yay for double points. And December deals are also back. This is through the 26th. 75% off the Alchemist class, 50% off collectible bags, and 35% off those Tomes of Destiny. It's the Build for Success sale as well. 30% off Wish for Memories, Tomes of Learning, AP Tomes, Select Enhancement Trees, 30% off. That is through the 26th, as I said. And your weekly coupon code is a Medium Guild Renown Elixir. The coupon code for that is Memorable Moment. MEMORABLEMOMENT. Memorable Moment.
I just made a screenshot of that so we can put it on Cormier.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, through the 26th, there you go for your store sales. And the last bit of game news before we get into our year in review is the soundtrack for the latest expansion is now available over on YouTube. So if you want some good soundtrack music to listen to while you're doing whatever, you can go over to DDO's YouTube page and get the Magic of Myth D soundtrack. You notice I'm saying D because I'm not saying the word because you're on the show.
You said Drannor earlier, so you're good.
Okay. I was trying not to ever say it because you're on, but there you go. Okay, now I won't say it again later, but okay. All right, let's jump into the year in review because, as I said, it is getting to the end of the year, and this is an annual thing that we do. We just look back over the year and kind of give some thoughts on DDO and what went on. So the very first thing that happened in 2024 for our game of DDO was Update 26. This was the Rise of the Dragon Lord. The major thing in this was the Dragon Lord fighter archetype, which I know you're a big fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Also refreshes the Epic Destinies. They did some work to that. Some AoE ranged attacks. And the Year of the Dragon year-long giveaway also started. And the 18th anniversary of DDO also came with this. So the anniversary party started. So congratulations on 18 years. That's awesome. And I should have mentioned at the top of the show, too, I just realized this, as we record the show, this is our 350th show.
Ooh,
so that's
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. Because I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd ever make it to 100. So here we are at 350. So go us. We're besides Axel's podcast that he just started. He just recorded episode 10 today. So
very good.
Yeah, so he's on 10. We're like the only two DDO podcasts left. So not many of us out there still, but we're still podcasting. So yeah, 350 episodes. Yes. Then in March 27th, we got Update 67. That was a Slice of Life. Brought the 3 new lighthearted quests to the game in the Slice of Life adventure packs. There was various bug fixes and improvements. And the VIP rewards also started with Update 67. Anything you want to add about, like...
No, the Slice of Life quests were fun. I thought they were okay.
Like one time, yeah. I don't think I'd go back and run them all the time, but I mean they were funny.
Yeah, I mean they were good. The thing is there's so many quests out now. You got to try to, you got to be like Saba and have a spreadsheet of all the quests that you want to do.
Exactly.
Sorry, Saba. But yeah, to fit in like what you want to do. When you get to certain levels and stuff. I mean, sometimes it's a fight for XP, sometimes it's a fight for loot. But sometimes you just gotta do a fun quest and have a good time.
Then June 12th, we had Update 68. That brought us the pre-order for the latest expansion, the Ladrin race, the Eladrin Chaos Mancer Iconic, the Wild Mage archetype, and Crystal Cove also returned during this as well. I have not played an Eladrin or a Chaos Mancer or a Wild Mage either. So
I was going to talk to you about the Eladrin. We got to talk about the Eladrin.
Okay.
At some point.
Okay.
Because they got some archery skills, buddy.
Really?
Yeah. I was playing around with them one night while I was watching something. So they do have the wild haircuts too.
Well, we will definitely have to talk about that. I'll have to take a look at that. I did not know that. August 14th was the expansion. Levels 13 heroic, 35 on the legendary side. We got a new wilderness area, 13 new quests, the new raid. Level cap also bumped up to level 34. Some new epic and destiny feats as well. Crystal Cove still was going on during this. And then Night Rebels also snuck in here on October 1st.
And of course, Drac is referring to the magic of Myth Drannor.
Yes, exactly. See, like I said, I'm not going to say it because you're on the show. So anytime we have to say it, it's up to you, buddy. It's up to
Got
you.
It. All right. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay. Then, anything else you want to say about that? I know you haven't ran the quest yet.
I haven't done the quest yet, but
we're going to soon, though. Soon.
Yes, I am happy to see that some of the old school TSR stuff is making it into.
Oh, me too, 100%.
Yeah. So it's I'm looking forward to seeing if they actually dug through some of the old books and put some stuff in there. That would make me very happy.
That's why I'm excited to run these quests with you, because I want to get your reaction to all of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Then the update 70 on October the 23rd brought us the Lanterns in the Mist. That, of course, brought up the VIP exclusive server Cormier and the Lanterns in the Mist event, which launched only on Cormier. Also, a bunch of lag fixes and adjustments, and the repeating crossbow fire rate fix also came with update 70. I don't use crossbows, so I know it was kind of mixed reaction to that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't actually use crossbows at all, so I don't know.
I haven't played my artificers in a while, so I might have to go back and see if I notice anything different.
But big thing was Cormier and the Lanterns in the Mist event with this update. And then the last update of the year just happened not too long ago, and that was update 71, which we just talked about. That was on December 11th, the Fall of the Night Brigade Adventure Pack, as we said, levels 4 and 34. Also Festivals, and then the performance fixes, and all of that fun stuff. So that is a little quick run through of our year in DDO. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 updates this year. So that's
pretty good.
Yeah, that's about. I should have, if I was a professional podcaster, I would have looked to see how many we had last year to compare it to. But it seems like last year we had about 5 or 6 too. So yeah, That's pretty good. And then anything, like I said, we haven't ran the new quest, so there's really not much we can add about update 71, I wouldn't think, since we haven't done the quest yet. Mm-mm. So let's talk about the year as a whole. What do we think was the best update that came in 2024?
For me, it was Rise of the Dragonlord, because I've been enjoying the Dragonlord quite a bit. So for the last, 10 years prior to recently, I played a lot of rogues, rangers, and wizards. I kind of stayed away from fighter because it was kind of boring to me. This made it more enjoyable.
Okay.
You got the more and it made the Dragonborns tougher and improved the fighter class. It gave the fighter class a good polish. So I liked it. I thought it was the best part of the year for
Then
me.
this was like a tough decision this year for me, but I think it was Lanterns in the Mist, just because I'm enjoying that whole event on Premiere right now. It's given me something that I'm trying to strive to get, which is the saber-tooth mount is the thing that I want. I'm just enjoying it, and I'm enjoying running some since we started brand new characters. I'm enjoying running a bunch of quests that I haven't done for a long time.
Yeah, like last night.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. That exact thing happened last night to us. We ran 2 quests that I've not done, and I think I ran them like one time when they came out, and that was it. So, yep. So I think I'm going to go with Update 70, The Lanterns in the Mist. So, what do we think is the best non-raid slash quest thing that was added to DDO in 2024? So, anything other than a raid or a quest?
I thought that the Year of the Dragon giveaways. Now, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people go, "Oh, those are stupid," or "Oh, I don't need any more cosmetics," or whatever. Blah blah blah. I thought they were cool. I thought it was a nice thing to do for the DDO community because those things are a lot of work. I mean,
Oh yeah,
some of those things are even harder to do than like a quest. And they also were giving away a lot of the loot, and then the old loot, some of the old loot that honestly some people just don't get anymore. So, and then there was some new loot in there as well. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was something different. I mean, yeah, we could give away XP pots again or whatever. I mean, but let giving something original away. I thought it was a good idea.
right. Yeah, they definitely gave some different rewards out, I think, and all of the cosmetics, and like everybody loves that little chunky dragon mount that they gave out. So yeah.
Yeah,
So,
my dragonborn will not write nothing but chunky dragon mounts from now on. I wish they came in different colors though.
yeah.
That would be the cool thing. Although they had the red one from Myth Drannor, but I think like if you had a black one and a white one, because I got a dragonborn sorcerer, a water sorcerer, so having an all white and all I thought that would be cool.
Ooh, I would love a black one. That would be amazing, actually.
I know, right?
Ooh,
So
I didn't
maybe-
even think about that. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make that
so-
happen. Yeah. For me, I thought about the Year of the Dragon because I like that. I kind of gave the edge, though, to the AoE ranged attack updates that they did. Because I am concentrating right now on playing my Dark Hunter a lot, is like the class that I'm playing. And I noticed a pretty big difference with the changes that they made. I liked them all. Now, granted, everybody that listens to the show knows my play style. I'm a super casual player. I'm not an endgame player. I don't know how like the end game part of it works, so I'm sure maybe at end game it sucks, it's terrible. Tell me that I'm wrong, but just for my play style, I liked what they did with that update. Once again, this was a tough decision this year, though. There was a lot of stuff that I was considering picking, but I think the ranged attacks for me.
Yeah, I mean, go with your strength. I mean, what do you like playing? I mean,
Right.
I try to be versatile in what I play, but there's some things that I don't play. So,
Right, and
whatever you enjoy.
and like I said, if you're like end game mid max player, tell me. Like, okay, yeah, you're not going to want to do this at higher levels because of this or whatever. I mean, and maybe that's true. Maybe once I get higher level, I'm going to change my mind. But right now, at the lower levels, I'm enjoying playing it with those updates. So, Well, like you said, go with what you like and go with your strengths. So there you go.
Mhm.
So 2024 as a whole, I mean, I'm pretty happy with DDO and the state of DDO. I know they're working on things. I get frustrated like when Cormier was like super, super laggy and it was like we would lag for like a minute at a time. I would be like, I'm
Sure.
done. But overall, I'm pretty happy and I think it was a pretty good year for DDO.
No, I agree. Um, and I think that the way they're going, is going to be hopefully expand the user base a little bit. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, we will definitely see. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about now is 2025. What are we looking forward to in DDO?
So me being a tech guy, I'm hyped for the 64-bit servers. I mean, we did that. You and I did the bench test night
Yes,
on Lamania, which was a riot.
it was. It was super fun.
So if anyone missed this, I'm wondering if somebody did a stream of it.
Oh, there was a bunch of people streaming.
Was there? Okay,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Look back, because like we were hanging out in Crystal Cove, and there was like Jerry's character, the Cordovan, was like 90 feet tall, and he was sitting in the water, and there was like 3 or 4 raid bosses walking around, and everybody's shooting at him or doing whatever. It was fun, and for me, it was a successful bench test because we didn't really experience a whole lot of, I don't want to say lag, but performance issues or anything like that. I thought it went really well. Now, once we actually started playing on Cormier, then we started seeing some issues.
Right, yeah.
But now we're, what, a month or two in? 2 months? Yeah, 2 months in.
About 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, well, 2 months in, and I think they've cleaned it up quite a bit. So I'm excited to get the other servers up to 64-bit and see what that does. Now, I know there's a couple of people that are concerned because the data center for the 64-bit is in Vegas, whereas the data centers for the 32-bit are on the East Coast. Is that going to be a big problem? I don't know, but I mean, they're the experts, so they got to have somebody that says, hey, this is going to be a problem, or hey, this is not going to be a problem. Because once you get all these other servers, you're going to have more people.
Right.
So I'm hoping that all that things works out. But the tech nerd in me wants to say that if we get the 64-bit servers and we get them balanced out right, the game will be a lot smoother, and we'll see less issues in the long run.
Here is hoping that is the case. So time will tell, as they say. I'm going to go with to be determined, and we'll revisit after the producer's letter because we really don't know what any of the new plans are yet. They haven't really even hinted at anything. I would assume we're going to get another classic pack because we usually get a classic pack. And then if history serves, we'll probably get a mini expansion next year. Not a full expansion, but we'll get a mini because they tend to do a full expansion, then a mini, then a full, then a mini. So my gut would tell me we're going to get a classic pack in a mini expansion, but we'll see. And I know Cordovan did say producer's letter probably mid-January. They haven't really even started working on it yet. So, I mean, yeah, of course they've been talking about all the stuff that's in it, but they haven't actually sat down and actually started writing the thing out yet. So we'll revisit this after the producer's letter, and we'll see what the future holds for us.
Think of it this way, though. So this was 18th year. Next year's the 19th year. So that year might be a light year, but then 20 would then be a big year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We'd have something major for 20. So that would be good to see. I would like to see them maybe focus less on something major in 2025, get the 64-bit servers going, and then something big in 2026.
Year 2026, year 20, I'm calling it now. 2 more horrors. I kid.
Tome of Horrors.
I kid. I kid. That would be so hard to do in DDO. It really would.
That kind of would be.
I mean, it would be hard for them to do it.
I'd have to really think hard about a classic pack.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna ask. What do we have any guesses on what we think the next classic pack will be? I mean,
some of it depends on Wizards of the Coast,
right?
Because Wizards of the Coast has shut down certain licenses, like Goodman Games isn't doing the original Adventures Revisited anymore, because at least not the old TSR ones, because Wizards is redoing some of those adventures for their D&D product line. So what's still sitting out there left to be done? That's a good question. I'd have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll revisit that before the producer's letter comes out. We'll think about that, and we'll have you back on the show, and then we can throw out some ideas. Because I need to think about it too. I mean, I know there's like 2 I want off the top of my head I can think of, but other than that, I don't know. We'll have to see what holds. So there you go. That is a look back in DDO for 2024. Then, if you are a longtime listener to the show, you know also the end of the year show brings the gaming goals. We go through and we say what our gaming goals for the year are, and then we look back and see how bad or good we did on those goals. And we will talk about Pine Leaves and see how he did. Tentatively, we are planning on him and I recording on New Year's Eve. We're going to record a quick show then. So we'll have Pine Leaves goals then. As I don't know how he did. So we'll see. But me, I did okay this year, actually. My goals for last year was to hit level 30 on Kyber and run the Strahd raid. That did not happen.
Well, again, we put Kyber on hold.
Yeah, we did. That stopped when Cormyr and the Lanterns came out. So
if you added up all the levels that you've done on Kyber and Cormyr, you would have hit 30.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say this was a partial victory.
Okay, sure. I'll take a partial win. So we'll give me a half a point for that one. Then my other goal is to start a brand new level 1 Dark Hunter and see how high a level I can get. Check and completed. Before we did Cormyr, we actually got to level 20 with that Dark Hunter on Kyber, and I. And then we TR'd him, and then now he's no longer 20. But so I successfully completed that one. Then I wanted to play more video games with friends. Did that. We've been consistently, other than Gen Con and like Gary Con, we've been doing Cruising with Drac every week. There might have been one week.
You had something 1 week.
Yeah, there was one, but yeah, we've been pretty consistent with that.
Yeah, last night was episode 36.
That's what I was going to ask. I thought we were in the high 30s. So
36.
Yeah. And then played a lot of 7 Days to Die over the years, because that actually got out of the alpha stage and went into a stable release. So we started a server on that, and we played that for quite a while. We are no longer playing that, but I'm sure we'll jump back into it. Well, actually, we're going to jump back into it because I have a plan. I have to wipe the server, and I'm going to do something with it. But that is to come. So that is a check mark. I did that one. More board game nights with friends. That also happened this year. And a big shout out to my friend and his son. They are consistently coming over about every other Sunday. It's usually about every other Sunday, every Sunday afternoon, and we play about 4 or 5 hours of board games on Sundays. So thanks to those two, that is your check. So I did really good this year. I usually don't get as many done. But then there's the one that didn't happen. Nobody's going to be shocked at this, but it was don't let the dumpster fire that is my life affect the podcasting gaming as much this year. Yeah, well, you know.
I think you did okay.
I mean, okay.
I think you did okay.
It was better than 23, I guess, but
yeah, because you did do a lot of gaming and everything. No, I don't think you did as bad, dude.
Thanks for your vote of confidence there. I appreciate it.
Don't just shoot yourself. Don't shoot yourself in both feet. Maybe 1 foot.
Okay, all right. So a half a point there too. So I actually didn't do bad this year. Actually, for once, usually I don't hit any of my goals. So yeah, yay me. I mean that black cloud's still with me, but yay black cloud. I love you, my friend. Black cloud, go away for a while.
We all have a little cloud that follows us around. Trust me.
Anyway, okay. Do you want to do any goals at all? I know I'm kind of throwing this at you last minute.
You know what? I'll go in my next year's. I mean, I told my one thing that I wanted to do this last year was just do more gaming because I was in a little bit of a funk in 2023 as far as like, you know, even DDO or, you know, playing, you know, running games online or even in person.
Right.
But I did go to 2 conventions this year. I went to GaryCon and GameholeCon. I had an awesome time at both of those. And my other thing was getting really into the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game because I really, really enjoy that game and write adventures for it and play and have a good time. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I saw it online that Target, some Targets were apparently selling the Marvel game, and then they dumped their inventory at Ollie's.
Really?
Yes. So if you have an Ollie's near you and you're interested in the Marvel game, go check it out because I think the books were $12.
I might have to take a trip to Ollie's tomorrow afternoon then.
Yeah.
And
the core book and the Cataclysm of Kang book. But I mean, from what I understand, talking to Matt Forbeck, who's the author, you know, they're already in the 3rd printing, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Plus, they got product coming out in March, and then another. Matt's told me what his next project is. I can't repeat it, but so the game is still moving forward. So, and we got some news on that from the dungeon as well.
We do.
So, but yeah. So, I mean, that was honestly my last year's goal is this year's goal too. Just do more gaming, go to the conventions, meet people, have fun, you know, and you know stuff that we used to do in the 80s and 90s that was just so much fun. And then of course life happens, you get older and things get weird. But
that it does, my friend. That
it does. But now that I'm pushing 6 digits, I got to think about what I want to do to have fun and not let the brain bugs get me.
Gotcha. Oh, trust me, I know where you're coming from, my friend.
So, but what about you, Drac? What do you want to do this year?
My goals are pretty much the same, except one. I have a really big one, but they're pretty much the same. I want to keep playing DDO with friends, so I'm having so much fun doing the cruising with Drac on Fridays. So, and I want to try to like, if we can maybe play like twice a week. We don't have to really stream it, but
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, like definitely do cruising with Drac and streaming that on Fridays. But if we can maybe squeeze another night in, because it's taking us forever to fill that dang lantern out. So.
I know, it's getting bad. And I want to say one thing. I mean, we joke on the stream quite a bit because we usually get more spammers than actual viewers.
We do.
But I will say within the last year, we've gotten at least twice as many people watching our streams than before. So you're out there and you're watching it, because we just talk, I mean, we stream, we talk about stupid crap, and then usually we are paying attention and do something really dumb. And it's just a blast. It beats zerging your way to 30th level in 2 days.
Exactly. With that, if you're tuning in to see a Zerg Fest, you're watching the wrong show.
Nope.
Because I mean, we don't. Well, I wouldn't say we don't flower sniff, but it's like we're not zerging by any stretch of the means.
No, and we're sometimes we take it slow and
And then
some
like you said, sometimes we do some like dumb stuff, and we're like, well, that didn't work. Let's try that again.
Yeah, and we only party wiped once. That was like 2 weeks ago.
We get lost sometimes? Yeah, it's
we get lost.
It's a great time. So yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll put a link down below to that.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want to watch a stream where somebody doesn't have 500 lives and you're
exactly.
just I mean, if you want to watch those streams, heck, go watch Voodoo, go watch Shrimp Tom, go watch Axel. They have awesome streams for like really high level.
They do. Yeah.
Play. I mean, they're incredible. But if you just want to be a regular DDO Joe, we should change. I could almost change.
We need to trademark that right now.
DDO Joes, kind of like the dodgeball. That's what I was thinking when I said that. So we're the DDO Joes of DDO streaming. So.
Right. If this is not your first time listening to this podcast, you know how the podcast is. That's pretty much what that stream is. Like, I'm a super casual player. I've been playing DDO since basically the beginning, but I have like one past life. So yay me for the one past life. So, I'm a super casual player. I just play to have fun. I do suboptimal builds. I just have fun.
Yeah. Well, remember when we were looking at my account last night? For reasons we won't go into, but I started playing on February 3rd, 2007. So that's a long time ago, and I'm still not a super player. And you don't have. So for anybody out there that gets intimidated by these guys with, 100 past lives, whatever, you don't have to.
Nope.
You know what? If that's your goal in this game, then God bless you. God bless you. I mean, you're having fun. You're doing what you want to do.
I have always said that if that's your play style, God bless you. Play the way you want to play. That is not me. That's not how I play, and that's not how I talk in this podcast either. As you know, like we're like a weird DDO podcast anyway, but somehow it works, and. It's great. Yeah. Well, I mean, 350 episodes. We're obviously doing something right, I guess. I don't really know, but thanks for listening anyway. So there you go. Also, I want to just keep playing various video games with friends, not just DDO. And then, once again, don't let the whole dumpster fire of my life affect the podcast schedule, yada, 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 yada. But my big goal this year, which I want to make happen, is I want to run a Shadow Dark Fantasy Grounds game.
Yes, and I have to teach you.
Yes, you have to teach me the ways of Fantasy Grounds, because I want to run Shadow Dark.
Yeah, young Padawan, it is not as hard as you think it is.
Well, we will have to have some lessons, and then I will get some players, and we shall play Shadow Dark, because I really, really, really like Shadow Dark a lot.
Now, there is one thing that we're missing off of this list.
Oh, God.
And that is, and it's not even DDO related, although it sort of is DDO related, is your Record Vinyl podcast with Jerry.
Yes.
I think you need to keep doing that, because
we plan on doing it.
It was great. And if you enjoy albums and music from today or 40 years ago, you guys need to check out Drac and Jerry's, which I think is better than Muck and Drac or Drac and Muck. I think Drac and Jerry's. It's almost like an ice cream.
Actually, it kind of is, yeah.
Yeah. So check out that podcast. And
well, thank you. I'll put a link to it down below if you.
Yeah, please.
I
mean, I listen on my drive into work, and because my record and music listening is very pedestrian when it compares to those two guys.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe that show that we're doing is it's two friends who are really into music and also two former radio guys. And you can kind of tell we're former radio guys because we like to talk a lot. And we like to talk about music, and it kind of works out. And then we kind of play off each other really well. And it is going a lot better than I thought it was going to. I was super nervous about it at first, but yeah, it's like.
Plus, you guys are physically showing the records too,
yeah,
which is really cool.
That is the thing. It is a video. I mean, you can just listen to it without looking at it, but yeah, it's a video podcast. So we're actually showing the records, showing the sleeves, showing the records, showing the CDs. We got a cassette show coming up pretty soon, so we're gonna talk about cassettes. So yeah, it's just a general music, fun podcast. Yeah, we're having a blast doing it. We just had a Christmas episode drop, not last week. We talked about Christmas music. We've got some other, trying to think of what else is coming up. We got an episode that's going to drop pretty soon. Hip hop and rap we're going to talk about. So, yeah, like I said, we pretty much cover everything, like any style of music, any genre of music. So, yeah. So, well, thanks for the plug on that. I appreciate that.
No problem. And if you have an album and you're not sure what it's worth, then just send a message to Drac and he'll tell you.
Indeed. I can try at least. So,
yes.
There you go. There is my goals for 2025. So, we will convene at the end of next year around this same time and see how good or bad I did. So, with that, let's take a step into the dark dungeon and see what's coming out from the dungeon. First up, Escape from Planet Hulk. That is a new Marvel RPG starter set, which I was kind of excited to see them get a starter set. That's a good sign, I think.
But it's already 3 to 4 months late.
That I didn't realize.
Yeah, this was supposed to come out in the beginning of October, November.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah, the original release date was October. Then it was November, and then it got pushed into 2025. So, and this isn't produced by Marvel. This is actually produced by Come On, which is they do a lot of
right, yeah,
a lot of the little games. The stuff you can buy at Walmart and Target and stuff like that. They do a lot of the little games, so they have a license to do this from Marvel. The set itself does look pretty cool, and if you pre-ordered stuff, you could pre-order their standee minis, and then you could get extra ones, not only just the ones that are in the game itself.
Okay,
but yeah,
my biggest problem with this, and this is a small little nitpick, but whoever designed this cover, the name of this set is called Escape from Planet Hulk, and the Hulk is not on the frickin' cover.
See, I'm not quite sure if this is the official artwork or not. Is it?
That's what was in the press release, so I'm assuming it is.
Really? Yeah.
But I was just so confused. I'm like, why is the Hulk not on your cover? And if you're watching the YouTube version of this, I got it up on the screen right now, and you too will be going, huh?
But I know that these are the characters. So Storm, Captain America, Black Widow, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Laura Kinney, Wolverine. I know those are the player. I'm pretty sure those are the player characters. I was just so confused. I'm like, where's the Hulk? I'm so confused. Well, we can't see the back.
Well, that is true.
And Planet Hulk was a huge Marvel thing from years and years ago. I mean, we're actually pretty far past Planet Hulk. Now, if they're going back to that planet, although that planet was kind of nuked a little bit, I don't know. If they're going back to it during the time of the actual original Planet Hulk adventure, then this is going to be set kind of in the past. and not up to date.
Yeah, all they said was it's a 24-page adventure that is going to take you on a thrilling journey through the savage lands. Is the only blurb they said about it. So guess take that
Yeah,
for what
which is
you will.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. Yeah, and I don't know anything. I don't know any behind the scenes thing from this. And actually, neither does Matt because he wasn't involved in this project. I don't think.
January 24th. MSRP is $34.99 on it. So yeah, there you go.
I'll probably get it. I mean, it's got the standees. It's got a set of dice. Although I do have 2 boxes of dice already. And it's got a condensed rule book, which is great. I mean, if you're looking to get people involved in it, this is a great way to go.
Yeah, they say it's a quick jumping off introduction point. The rulebook in it is a condensed 64-page version of it, so it makes it a little easier to jump in. So we'll see on the 24th of January, $34.99 once again for Escape from Planet Hulk. And speaking of vinyl albums, there is one coming out soon. And you might be thinking, why are you talking about this from the dungeon? Because it's Critical Role, but it's a Christmas album.
I know. I didn't even know about this until you put it in the show notes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I asked you about the D&D album earlier.
Yep.
And which you don't have in the show notes. But this is kind of weird.
It's super weird. Yeah, it's called Winter's Crest. It's an 11-track musical journey through the beloved worlds of Critical Role.
Well, you know what I like the most, though, is if this is the actual cover art.
It is.
It's very 60s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100% it is, yeah.
Yeah, which I'll give them kudos for that.
And then this is exactly what you think. It is all the Critical Role guys and gals doing the Christmas songs from the world of Critical Role. It is so bizarre.
12 Days of Grogmas.
Exactly.
That one I might actually have to listen to.
Exactly. No, Travis Willingham.
Now, just like we practiced.
On the first day of grog, Miss My Pikey gave to me a little birdie in the sun tree. On the second day of grog, Miss My Pikey gave to me 2 Go Phoebe Post and a little birdie in the sun tree. On the
this is available to stream right now on Spotify. I put a link into it if you have Spotify. I'm assuming it's probably on other streaming apps too. I just know for sure it was on Spotify. And then the vinyl editions are up for pre-order. They're going to come out February tentatively next year. It depends. Sometimes pressings get behind. There's a standard pressing, which is going to be $50, which is a little steep for a single vinyl, but okay then. And then your deluxe Mac Daddy set is $250. No, sir.
Wow.
No, sir. Am I going to pay $250? Sorry.
Well, you and Jerry talked about that. I don't think the highest you ever paid for anything was over $100.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Well,
so there you go. But of course, the deluxe is signed. So if you want to get all their autographs, it's a easy, quote unquote, easy way to do it. And then there's some other little special things in it, but yeah. So spring of 2025 is when the vinyl's coming out, but you can stream it right now. So a very Critical Role Christmas Winter's Crest on Spotify now. Vinyl coming soon. Then you added something to the show notes about upcoming RPGs.
Yeah, so there's a list over on Ian World. Everybody is supposed to vote for their most anticipated RPGs for 2025. So I thought I would go down this list and thought what I thought was cool, because some of these I have absolutely no clue. Now, a lot of these are probably Kickstarters or announced Kickstarters for next year, which means they might not be fulfilled in 2025. But if you were looking for some kind of new role-playing game or next version of the current one you play in, this is kind of what you need to look for 2025. So, and I'm going to skip over the ones on this list that I don't know anything about. But I do know some people that play 13th Age, so there's a second edition for that. The 13th Age stuff comes up on Humble Bundle or Bundle of Holding on a regular basis. It's a decent campaign setting. There's a lot of material for it. It's kind of cool. My friends over at Goodman Games are coming out with kind of their own style of 5th edition, because they're still doing 5th edition products over there, but I think they kind of want to do what Cobalt Press did with Tales of the Valiant, and they're coming up with their own version of 5th edition. New version of Aliens, the Alien RPG coming out. I'm a big fan of that. Ars Magica. Anybody still playing Ars Magica?
I didn't even know it was still a thing.
I was very surprised to see it on this list, but I did remember that they were talking about a new edition, so that might be a coming soon kind of deal. The one on this list that is very intriguing to me, but I probably won't get involved in it, is this Cosmere one. So the Brandon Sanderson's book series with a Cosmere RPG, and the company that's doing it is called Brotherwise Games. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't read any of these books, but I know people who have, and they say that they're really wonderful. But to run the game, which I like to run games, they said you got to be a fan of the world. So that kind of takes that out of the equation for me. But if I get a chance to play it, that could be cool. I don't know if you ever read any of the Brandon Sanderson books.
I have not.
Yeah,
But people love them though.
Yeah, I mean, the Kickstarter was huge. I mean, it was millions. So that was definitely a million club there. I'm going to jump down to the next iteration of Conan, the Hyborian Age from Monolith Board Games.
I'm kind of interested in this one, actually.
They released a teaser to it. It wasn't really a quick start, but it was a teaser. Honestly, I didn't care for the system.
Really?
The 2 die 20 system and then the old die 20 system I think were better. But if you really like Conan games, there's a fresh one there. Daggerheart, they actually just announced they posted pictures of what the Daggerheart thing is going to be, and the rumor is that Critical Role's next campaign is going to be all Daggerheart.
Yep.
Not going to be D&D. It does look pretty cool. I read the rules in the early iterations. I don't know what they are, what the final version is supposed to look like. But, it's I guess it's a good blend of mechanics and role playing, and a lot of people like that. Dalamwood is the Old School Essentials campaign world that's coming out. I did not pick that up, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. The DC-20 system, that's the next big rules-heavy kind of die 20 D&D-ish campaign that's coming out. There's a lot of people that are super excited for that. One we talked about probably 2 years ago was the Gloomhaven RPG. And I completely forgot about that until I saw it on this list. That might be an interesting one if people are, really into Gloomhaven. Heroes of Might and Magic, that's another one that Modiphius is kind of resurrecting. That might be interesting to people. Skipping down the list here a little bit. Hopefully we'll get our Monty Python game soon. I think it's been stuck in shipping hell. Yeah,
I think it's moving now.
I think it's moving now. Yeah. So a little late on that one. It was supposed to be back in, I think, September, October. But I have faith that it's coming. It looks really good. Everybody's got their PDF already, so people can be running it already. I mean, we got the PDFs a while ago. One that I'm actually interested to see. So back in the early Die 20 days, there was this system called Osric. I can't remember what Osric stands for. It actually stands for something. But they had original edition, then they had a revised edition. Mythmere Games, who kind of do all the support for Osric. I don't know if they're involved with the guy who originally wrote it or not, whose name is escaping me, Stuart something. But they're coming out with a new edition of Osric. So Osric is kind of like a combination of first edition D&D and Die 20 that people were really hip about back in the early Die 20 and D&D 3.5 days.
Which I had no idea they were even making this. And it's old school reference and index compilation.
Thank you. But we actually played it quite a bit, and they still run a lot of games for it, like at GaryCon and stuff.
Yeah, so I had no idea they were doing a third version, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't until I saw this. I wasn't sure, and I looked it up. Planet of the Apes RPG. I know some guys that played this at Gamehole Con back in October, and they liked it. So
that's good to hear because I backed it. So
yeah, that's right. You're getting it. Yeah. Let's see. Starfinder Second Edition. I will. Oh, that is one of my things for the coming year. I'm going to be doing a Starfinder 2e game. I have enough people that are interested in it, so there you go. I'll say Terry Pratchett's Discworld Adventures in Ankh-Morpork. I think I pronounced that right.
Sure, why not?
This is a super heavy role-playing game. So if you like mechanics in your game, you're not going to like this game. But there's a lot of people that love Terry Pratchett stuff. I think you have to be super British to really appreciate some of it. But I think it's going to be fun for people who like those types of games. Drac's favorite, the Smurfs.
Why? Why is this a thing? Why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved the Smurfs when I was a kid, but who the hell is asking for a Smurf RPG? Please tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. and
why?
There's only one female Smurf, right?
Right, just Smurfette. Which that's a whole other topic we could discuss.
That's a whole other heavily R-rated topic.
That's in the After Hours podcast
that we should probably avoid. And I think the last one, I mean, there's a bunch of other ones on the... Oh, wait, actually, the second last one. Trail of Cthulhu. Now, Trail of Cthulhu is actually pretty popular. Now, I've never played it, but I mean, it's kind of just like a regular... It's a Cthulhu game just set in a different era, right? I'm pretty sure that's all it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're coming out with like a second edition of that. I think they're going to do really well. Cthulhu is just hot as hell. I mean, it was popular, back in the 80s and 90s, but I think it's just grown so much in the last 10 years. And then the last one I'll say something about, only because I saw a prototype of it at Gamehole Con, was Voltron, the role-playing game.
Again, who's asking for this?
Oh, come on. I think it could be cool. I was a huge Voltron fan when I was a kid. Plus, they got the movie coming out now with Henry Cavill. I think the timing is just right on that,
Let me say it could be good, but I have reservations with the company that's making it, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yes,
yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
So, well, I'll say something. So, Catalyst has the license for Shadowrun, and a good friend of Drac and I's hates them to their core because he likes original Shadowrun.
Right.
So we won't mention who that is, but if you listen to Cruising with Drac enough, you'll figure it out. And to be honest, he's not entirely wrong. What made Shadowrun cool in the first 3 editions has kind of been removed, but I think it was done more to evolve the game to the current way of playing role-playing games, which old geezers like us sometimes rubs us the wrong way. But, it is what it is. I'll tell you this much, at Gamehole Con, the tables were packed playing their kind of... what's the term that they used? I'm trying to remember. It's their traveling, like their living event, their like Adventures League type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear at least.
Tables were packed. And they had a really cool thing there. So they were on the second level, and they were at the top of the GameCon's in this big building called the Alliance Center in Madison. It's huge, and there was steps going up to where that booth was, and on those steps, if you stood back far enough, you could see, because it was the 30th anniversary of Shadowrun. All the steps they formed a picture of on the steps.
Oh yeah, they do that at Gen Con too.
Yeah. I'll send you the picture, Drac. You can put it in the pod. So so something to look forward to. If you want the complete list, jump on over to Ian World. You have to search for it a little bit. I think it's fell off the top of their screen or their front page, but there's a lot of stuff in here. Some of these are indie games, and indie games are hugely popular, which is cool. But there's a lot of people doing a lot of different role-playing games for a lot of different people, and I think there's something out there for everybody nowadays. So do what you love and do what you feel comfortable with, type of thing.
I will just add 2 to the list that you did not mention.
Oh, okay.
Cahors Cthulhu from Modipius. That is Cthulhu set in the Roman age.
Got it.
There is also a miniature skirmish game of that coming out that I did back on Kickstarter that I'm looking forward to as well, but I would kind of like to check this RPG out. And the last one, because you didn't mention Daggerheart, the other one that I'm looking forward to, which I did back as well, is So You Met a 1,000-Year-Old Vampire.
Oh, that's right. Is that on this list?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of down towards the bottom.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Which that, if you're not familiar, that is a solo. There is a way that you can play it with another person, but it's kind of weird. It's meant to be like a solo RPG. Right. You're a new vampire, and you meet this vampire, and you go through the story, and you build your story out. It's really good. So you met a vampire was the first game, and it was so good. I enjoyed that so much. I played through that several times, and then you're basically building friendships and making enemies, and what you do at the very beginning could come back later in the game. It's done really, really well. So I'm looking forward to that. So that would be the only 2 that I will add to the list. But yeah, there's just it's a good time just to be in the RPG hobby though, because there's a lot of people doing RPGs right now. Like you said, some good, some bad, but some are not. Some are not for everybody. So if somebody says, "Hey, I'm not interested in that," hopefully they say it in a nice way.
Exactly. But just say, "Hey, you know what? That's not my style. I want to do this instead." Then hey, there you go.
Like you said, play what you love.
Yep, or play what you like playing.
There you go. All right, let's jump to see what is happening on the screen. The long-rumored, long in development Warhammer 40,000 TV series is officially a go at Amazon. This is Henry Cavill. He is the main spearhead behind this. Huge Warhammer guy. 2 years ago, actually, Amazon Studios acquired the global rights to the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and they're finally making the show. The series is a result of months of creative development with a dedicated team working to bring the rich and complex world of Warhammer 40,000 to the small screen. No showrunner has officially been announced, but as I said, Henry Cavill is definitely involved in a major way. So, so there you go. If you're into the Warhammer 40K world, TV show coming to Amazon at some point. There's no exact date for when it's going to be out, but
so it's also not just Warhammer, because War Machine is almost the identical thing. So if you're into either one of those type of games, you're probably gonna love this. And I'm sure Henry's in the gym as we speak, because if you don't know anything about Warhammer and the Space Marines and those type of guys. They're supposed to be augmented humans that are just huge and all muscle and do nothing but kill things. So I'm definitely interested to see where it goes. There is a giant community for this. If you're just a role player, you may not know about it, but there is quite a following for stuff like this. In fact, next March, at the same weekend as GaryCon, they're going to have a convention called Adepticon, which is like the yearly miniatures and miniature battles and miniature games convention. And while GaryCon's in Lake Geneva in Wisconsin, Adepticon's going to be in downtown Milwaukee at the Midwest Express Center.
It used to be in Chicago, and it's moving this year.
Yeah. Well, conventions in Chicago I'm sorry, they're a joke because everything is overpriced. Parking is overpriced. I mean, it's great that Gen Con went to Indy, but Gen Con in Milwaukee, I think, was just as or even better affordable. But when you move these conventions to really big cities that don't have the outside the area sprawl to handle the conventions, I heard a lot of people complaining about Adepticon being in Illinois because everything was so expensive. I mean, it was horrible. Milwaukee will be a little bit more of a nicer venue for something like this.
Adepticon is on my bucket list.
Is it?
It is.
Well, it's the same week as same time as GaryCon.
I didn't realize it was the same weekend as GaryCon.
Yeah, it's kind of a fight, because it's usually a fight between when GaryCon wants to go, where Adepticon wants to go, when Easter is, because there's Easter, because Easter floats around.
Right.
And they got to kind of plan it. And last year it was on the same day, and next year is on the same day. So, but I'll be at GaryCon.
Then also over on Amazon, Secret Level finally dropped. We talked about this. This is the show that is set in a lot of different universes. There's many different stories that they're telling, and there's a lot of universes, D&D being one of them.
Yeah, so I've watched the first 8, and there's another 7 to go yet. So I haven't seen those. Now the first one is the D&D one. Now, do you want my review?
Yep, go ahead, because I actually haven't watched this yet. So okay. I've got to watch these. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I asked if you want me to go.
Yep.
So, I didn't like it because they drop you in the story with no background or no lead up to what's going on. It's just boom, like you're right in. It's like a 3-chapter book. They tore out the first chapter of the book. So you start the book at chapter 2, and then you get to the conclusion of chapter 2. And then they stop the story. And there's obviously more to the story, and they don't do it. Now, the visuals were okay. I don't understand how a burning hands type spell is more powerful than a fireball and can cover like hundreds of feet. If you want to get game mechanic weird.
That's super weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Looks better on no, because a fireball would look amazing on screen. I have no idea. That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. So I was like, I would have preferred a complete story. Now they only have 16 minutes or so to do these things. Like I'm looking down the list. The first one's 16, second one's 10, 15, 19. I mean, they could have went 20 minutes on this one. We came up with a complete story end to end, and it would have been a lot more enjoyable. Nope, didn't do it. Second one. Was a kind of a Yakuza martial artist one. It was okay. It was okay. The third one, however, was my favorite. That was it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, because we talked about this off air a while ago. It was a conquering king. Here's the description: a conquering king washes up on shore on a mysterious island with no army and no clue. He may need an eternity to find his purpose. And it was Arnold doing Arnold, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was well done. And it was a complete story. The fourth one was Unreal Tournament. That one, I thought, honestly, out of all these, I thought that was the best one. Now, I was a huge Unreal Tournament fan back in the day, and they even used the old sound effects for like headshot, rampage. They do all the stuff from that. I thought that one was really good. The Warhammer 40K one, because there's a Warhammer 40K, is episode 5. That one was pretty good too, and it kind of shows you how badass like these Space Marine guys are. And then there was one that was kind of like, it said it was Pac-Man, but well, really, Pac-Man. And then 7 and 8 were okay. They were okay stories. I to be honest, I'd have to read deeper into some of these to see what games they represent. But because I wasn't sure about the 7 and 8, what games are those from? Because these are from computer games, right?
Yes. It's basically set from a miniatures game, but then computer games too, yeah.
Yeah, so now the ones I haven't watched yet are, there's one for Outer Worlds, which was a science computer game from a couple years ago. There's a Mega Man one, that's number 10. Something called Exodus Odyssey, obviously some kind of science fiction one. I'm not sure about that one. There's one, number 12 is called Spelunky Tally. I'm not sure what that one is. Concord is number 13. It's a space one. Honor of Kings, The Way of All Things looks kind of like it's something to do with artificial intelligence ruling the city. And the last one is called Playtime Fulfillment. I'm not sure what that one is for, but I have to dig into them a little bit to see, what is this originally based on? But the big ones that obviously is Dungeons and Dragons, Unreal Tournament, Warhammer, Outer Worlds. Those are very well known, popular games. Some of these might be other games that we're just really not familiar with, or we're not getting it by the title type of thing. But the animation, and I talked about this on Cruising with Drac. I'm not a big fan of digital animation, but it was okay. I didn't hate it. Obviously, I like the cartoonish animation better. Mm-hmm. But this kind of shows that the industry is evolving more with how they do these kind of presentations. That it wasn't like some of the stuff that they had like years ago that I thought were kind of lame. So it was okay. I would definitely check it out. Make your own opinion. I know a lot of people thought that the Dungeons & Dragons one was awesome. I just wish it would have been a complete story, and it's not. And that's what was like, okay. Like stopping halfway through an adventure without getting the beginning part. So
I will watch it, and I will talk about it next episode, because I just haven't had a chance to watch it. But it's on Prime now. If you have Prime, you can check it out.
Yeah, I have time on my lunch, so that's what I usually do.
Well, there you go. Let's go over and see what the heck we were up to in our week in gaming. You want to go first?
No, you're listed on the gaming notes as going first.
Well, okay, I'll go first then. We did, of course, over on Cormier, we did Cruising with Drac, finished all of Ravenloft. And then last night we did Black and Blue and Newcomers.
And one of the pyramids.
And one of the pyramid. Yeah, I don't remember which one we did, but we did one
which if you watch, I counted them. I think we got 6 what are those called again? The
monster manuals.
Yeah, monster manuals. Like you walk in the door and you already got like 10,000 experience just from from all the different things. Like that was crazy. That's kind of crazy.
And can we talk about how Standing Stone Games is out to get me at this point?
Oh yes. Oh, that reminds me. I got to rename the Twitch stream. So I'll let you tell the story. Yeah. It's your weekend review.
We all know my woes with the RNG. It's well covered in the history of the show. How the RNG.
It's well documented.
We killed an optional, popped a chest, and I'm like, where's the chest? And Beeker's like, it's right in front of you. And I'm like, there's no chest. And he's like, I opened it. And I'm like, I see that on your stream, but there's no chest. I did not get the chest. There was physically no chest for me to open.
That was awesome.
I took a screenshot. I will insert it. It is bizarre. I have never seen that happen. So I am convinced now that Standing Stone Games is just out to get me. They're just like, besides denying me of any of my name drops out of chest, they're just now denying me of my chest.
No, they're just messing with you.
Exactly. My account is flagged. I know it. Tell me I'm wrong, SSG. Tell me. Yeah. No, that was the weirdest bug I have ever seen. It was kind of comical because it happened to me, because I'm just like, how's come there's no chest? And then I forgot what you pulled out of the chest because you had said something. You asked me.
It was garbage.
Yeah.
It was a junk
Yeah.
chest.
And I'm
He's
like,
what chest?
I'm like, why didn't that guy drop a chest? And you're like, I'm in the chest right now. And I'm like, there's no chest, man. Yeah, it was crazy. But so there you go. So now the game is just denying me a chest. Great. Perfect. Then video games wise, played, I bought Helldivers 2 when it was on sale, and Lessa and I played that. Okay, rant time. Pull up a chair. That game frickin' sucks. Okay, it's like, I appreciate that it's hard. I don't mind the fact that it's hard. But they jump you, or they just throw you into the fire. You get a quick little training thing, and there's so many different things because you have to like do all these different things to like call things and get drops and to get recruit. It's there's so much involved in it. You get one little small training thing and you just dropped into the fire. Okay, fine. And it's tough, which I don't mind it being tough. My biggest problem with the game, and Lessa agreed with me, they force you to group with people. I don't want to group with random people.
Oh, really? Wow.
I want to just group with my friends because Lessa and I were in a group. She started one of the missions and all of a sudden 2 other randos appeared and we're like, what the hell is this? And then we're like, I don't know, maybe it's just some weird bug thing or whatever. And then we went into another mission and 2 other randos appeared. And then after we got done with that mission and we went back to the ship, those 2 randos were with us on her ship. And I'm like, no, don't force me to group with rando people.
So is it like they're forcing you to be in a group of 4?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't have 4 people, you can get stuck with some schmollheads.
Yeah.
That are just okay.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I don't know. I guess that's what it is. I was like, no, like I am like, if you don't know me, I mean, if you just know me from the podcast, you probably got this, but as Lessa calls me, I am the king of the introverts. I like who I like. I like my friends that I have. That's the only people I want to be social with. I don't want to be social with Joe Schmo, some rando dude. No, don't put me with the rando dude. And the other problem was, Les and I were brand new. We have no idea what the hell we're doing. These 2 people were like, just like zerging ahead and like doing all this stuff and having all this stuff drop from the sky. And we're like, how are they doing any of this? What are they doing? Where are they going? What's going on? That
sounded weird.
I regret buying the game now, but we played it for too long. I can't get a refund on Steam anymore, so I'm stuck with it.
Well, you need to find 2 more people.
That's what Lessa and I said. We need 2 more people, and then we can just group, and then, because I think the max group size is 4 from what I can tell, because at least the 3 missions we did, it was only 4 people. So I think if we could get 4 other people to play and we could just group, and then that would be fine because we wouldn't get randos. But my biggest problem was the randos. I'm like, no, don't make me play with randos. You know what I mean?
You will never see Drac and a pug.
Yeah, nope, never. Not. I mean, all you DDO players out there, I'm sure you're cool people. That's fine. That is not my scene. I don't do pugs ever. And don't force me to do a pug either. Because I'll rant if you do. Okay, rant off. And then the other thing I did is started playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This just dropped on Game Pass, I see, so I installed it. I installed it both on my Xbox One and my PC. I've only played on the PC so far. This is a game that is set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. So it's in the timeline of Indiana Jones. It's in that timeline. You are basically Indiana Jones, and you're going through adventures. You have the whip, which the whip mechanics and the whip physics, amazing. It's so much fun.
Like, it's like Spider-Man. I saw.
Oh yeah.
I saw people
It's
playing it.
it's amazing. And GI Robot would be proud because you get to kill a bunch of Nazis, which probably going to get flagged on YouTube because I said that, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's so much fun, especially if you're into Indiana Jones. I just started playing. I'm only probably, I don't know, 20 minutes into it, so I haven't played it a lot, but it is so much fun. But yeah, like I said, it's set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, so it's kind of in that time frame. That was it video game wise. I did play some tabletop. Did the Deceased, a Zombicide game, Gotham City. This is the retail starter version of the Deceased Zombicide game. It was a big, I don't think it was a Kickstarter. I think it was on GameFound. But anyway, it was crowdfunded. It's DC's zombies. So it's Zombicide set with DC heroes. It was a whole line in the
Comics.
Yeah, the comics. This is the retail like starter version that always comes out before the crowdfunder like major game is out. You only get minis for like the heroes and a couple of the villains, and then all of your zombies are standees. So it's like a quote unquote cheaper version of it. We really enjoyed it. We did win. Came down towards the end. We almost thought we weren't going to win because when we spawned the last zombie spawn, we just happened to be in the right place to where we could escape before we would have to fight one of the big bosses. And we were fighting the Joker zombie, which he spawns a bunch of other zombies with him. He was pretty tough, so we were lucky to win, but we won. And then we played Horrified World of Monsters. If you remember a while ago, we had played this and we said it was totally broken. The Yeti had a mechanic that basically ruined the game. You couldn't win. The Yeti was just overpowered. We tried it again, beat the Yeti outright. We beat the Yeti in like 15 minutes. And my friend and I had played it. His son wasn't here that night that we played it. And he's like, why did you guys say this was hard? And my friend and I are looking at each other like, what just happened? Like something weird just happened. This is like a glitch in the Matrix or something. So yeah. So I don't know. So I kind of have faith in Horrified again because if you remember on the show, I ranted about that. I was like, this kind of ruined Horrified for me. My faith in Horrified is restored because we actually did manage to beat the Yeti, and it was so much easier, which I don't understand what happened, but weird thing. So there you go. That was my week. What about you?
Yeah, well, I'm doing the last couple of weeks. I haven't been
That's
in
fine.
a while.
That's fair.
But I'm still running I have 2 Pathfinder games that I'm running. I'm having a really fun time with that. The one's been going since 2019. The guys are super high level, but then new starter. I started a new group of in the starter adventures for Pathfinder, and we're having a pretty good time. So I'm actually having a lot of fun with that. Cruising with Drac, we've talked about to death, I think already. Today I actually played D&D Onslaught. I sent you some pictures.
You did. I was excited to see that you were playing that because I looked at that right away and I'm like, yeah, he's playing Onslaught. Sweet. I love that game so much.
Yep. My friend Brian met me at the coffee shop, and the coffee shop was strangely empty. I guess it's the Christmas season. Everybody's out shopping. And we set up on the big table and we played for, it was at least 3 hours.
Nice.
And we went through the starter adventure. I won. So that was cool.
Perfect.
It is a enjoyable game. Plus, he's got there's like a trade magazine that that there were some extra adventures in and stuff like that. So we might play that some more. My Marvel Multiverse role playing game. still having a lot of fun with that. We're running the event that Matt Forbick and I ran at GameholeCon, the Poker Nights, which is based on the tradition in Marvel Comics called Floating Poker Night, where the Thing hosts Ben Grimm, the Thing of the Fantastic Four, hosts a poker game at different locations. And this one was in the Baxter Building. So we're running it again at GaryCon. So if you see it out there and you're going to GaryCon, please sign up. Matt's running it and I'm running it. So we're kind of switching the materials back and forth. But going to keep doing some more Marvel stuff in the future. Hopefully have a good time with that. And then a couple weeks ago, we actually played the Waterdeep Dwarves. Drac was on his deathbed.
I was.
And couldn't play.
I was. It was bad.
So we did play without him. There is a very notable thing that happened that I have to share with everybody, and that was when you find a magical boat and it's only 3 feet long, you don't say the command word in a 20 by 20 room that makes it a 60-foot boat.
Mistakes were made. Lessons were learned, apparently.
Mistakes were made. People were in death saves. And yeah,
sounds about right for the Waterdeep Dwarves. That
we'll just leave it at that. Very hysterical. And the person who said it, you know who you are. But yeah, I mean, other than that, just cruising through life. Oh, I am still reading The Darkest House by Monty Cook Games. If you want a scary, creepy game to play, check out, and he's got another one, The Darkest Forest, which is, I think the crowdfunding is over for it, but I'm sure you can get in late pledges. I'll pick it up later. I want to run The Darkest House first. But it's pretty cool. You can actually bring characters from any game system into the house, as it were. And there's a mechanic for how you make their world work into yours. Because the examples they give is like a dwarf fighter, and then like a Cthulhu investigator, and somebody from one of Monty's other games that he has. And it's like, oh, this is how you would do this. And then there's a whole system for it. It's actually kind of interesting. But the house itself is the one thing that it says right in the book. The one thing that you have to know about the house is it hates you. And that was enough for me. So that was definitely a purchase. But getting ready to run some more games in the coming months, which I mentioned before, Starfinder 2nd Edition, which is in official playtest right now. But they got the first round of all the playtesting done and a lot of the tweaks and stuff. So I was kind of waiting for that to happen before I really got into it. But I think it's going to be fun too. That's about it.
All right, over on our Patreon, we have 10 supporters. If you'd like to help support DDO players, you can go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance. That is the podcast network we are a part of over on Patreon. Once again, all the money is used for either podcast hosting, website hosting, or to pay for the normally live shows. If you do want to donate without using Patreon, easily done. Shoot me an email, Drac@DDO Players, and we can talk about several options. We have no reviews this week. If you would like to drop us a review, we would love the support. It does help us out a ton as well. You just leave us a review on the podcast app of your choice. Let me know you left the review. We'll read it on the show. Update, still not on Spotify. Still can't get it to work. Still can't get any help from Spotify. There's your update for people that are asking why the heck is the podcast not on Spotify. Still can't get it to work. Still trying to figure it out. No future comments this week. you can just leave a comment either over on the site or on the YouTube version, and we'll talk about that. No emails as well, but if you have anything you want to email us about, it is podcast@ddoplayers.com. Once again, podcast@ddoplayers.com. The Players Alliance has 2 live shows. The first show is Lotro Players News. That is Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It is all about Lotro and all things token, kind of like this show. It's just about Lotro, though. That is Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, DDO Players, which varies when we record, if we record / do it live. All because of me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Anything you want to add before we close this show? And I would say the year, but I am going to sneak one more podcast in before the year with Pine Leaf. So we're not going to close out the year yet, but we're closing out this show. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really. Check us out on Cruising with Drac Friday nights, especially if you're a spammer.
Indeed. We love the spammers. I will drop a link to that over in the show notes. All right. With that, that is our 2024 year-end show. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. And I will leave you, normally I leave you with, I hope the RNG is kinder to you than it is to me. This week, I'm going to change it up, and I'm just going to say, I hope I actually get a chest to open.